What's up, everyone? We are back on another episode of Pound for Pound. I'm the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, a.k.a. Triple C.
A Shadow Line production.
Henry UFC 314 happened this weekend, Henry, and I would say the fights delivered. There's some fights that were, a little stale, but not the worst. And I would say overall, it was a great card. Miami has really turned, after years and years of the UFC not coming to Miami, it has really turned into a hotbed for just amazing big title fights here, Henry. I would say right now, Miami might be top 3 cities. Top 3 or top 5 for sure. Top 5.
Shit, I think top 1, bro. Miami's lit, man. Like first.
Wait. Why you say top 1, Henry?
First time coming here, bro. I mean, the atmosphere was absolutely ridiculous, man. President Trump in the house. Elon Musk was in the house. You got Patrick David was in the house.
PBD.
So many people, man. Just like the stars came out, bro. And it's like you feel like coming to Miami. It's like the new MMA Hollywood.
You're right, Henry. You hit the nail on the head right there. You just named a couple names. RFK was in the building.
RFK too. Jesus.
RFK was in the building. Tulsi Gabbard was in the building. Cash Patel was in the building.
Right.
Dana White, of course, was in the building.
Shaq.
Big Shaq was in the building. Zac Efron was in the building. And, of course, JG Justin Gaethje was in the building as well. Yeah. Hey, it was a star-studded event, packed full. And before we even get into the card, this is something that just that obviously touches us, Henry, because I think it's something that we looked forward to at the beginning of our careers. And now there's a possibility that this is going to hit us too. Amanda Nunes was inducted into the Hall of Fame. And you could see the way they do it, UFC tricks you, to where they, they freaking don't tell you, and then you're there, and then all of a sudden you're sitting there watching fights, you're excited for the next fight, all of a sudden, boom, video drops on you, and you're just up like, and I could see him. They hit Robbie. I was sitting next to Robbie when they got him. I was sitting next to Rashad Evans when they got him as well, and it hit Amanda Nunes as well. She stood up like, oh, they're showing a video of me. Then she realized, oh, they're showing a video of me. Oh, shit, it's a video of me.
Brazilians could sure damn, they got a lot of emotions, bro.
It's not just, right, Henry, it's not just Brazilians. It's everyone that they do this with, and it gets you. I mean, and I understand it, Henry. When they start to really hit you with that video that shows your body of work, Henry, what was it? Ozzy said it yesterday. Hey, we're going to get you guys too, pointing to me, you, and Israel. We're going to get you guys too. Yeah, we're going to make y'all cry too soon. And also Brian said that too. We're going to make you guys cry. So, and I believe that, man. When you look at your body of work, Henry, you will cry when you reflect on it.
I don't know about I think I'm too much of a man, but go ahead, Kush, you can cry. You know what I'm saying? Listen.
All right, Henry. But yeah, Henry, the fights were great. The main event was good. I mean, you could just tell now, like UFC is such a big brand to where they can throw an event like this. Yes, Alexander Volkanovski was pound for pound and he's well known. But you throw in a relatively unknown guy, Diego Lopez, and we see this in some cards. When you do that, that card might not necessarily sell out, or there might not be that much of excitement behind it. But this card this arena was packed full, sold out. Diego Lopez, still relatively new coming in. They sold out the place and they delivered a banging fight, Henry. Do you want to just go over that fight real quick?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't necessarily say the main event was banging. Honestly, I mean, was it a competitive fight? Yeah, I thought the judges got it right. 49-46. I thought maybe Volkanovski lost maybe the fourth, I believe. Other than that, it was clearly Volkanovski, man. I think his his jab, dude. Volkanovski's jab is so underrated, man. His inside leg kicks, his movements. I think if there's one area where I felt like where he can be exposed is sometimes he loses composure, over movement, running a little bit. You know what I mean? Like instead of staying stationary, maybe jump into the clinch a little bit more. But other than that, man, I think 145 pounds is wide open for anybody to become champion. I'm not too sure. Volkanovski did look good, but I'm not too sure how long he could reign. You know, I don't know, man. I feel like there's a lot of firepower, man, with Gene Silva. You got Aaron Pico who's just coming in. Yair Rodríguez looked like a freaking world beater last night. Obviously, Aloyev doesn't necessarily have the biggest name, but he's gonna fight for the title. But I just feel like that fight suits Volkanovski very, very well.
I hear what you're saying, Henry, but at the same time, I agree with you
I
about the
think
fight. It
Holloway
was a
needs to come.
very
I do believe Kamaru that Holloway needs to come back down to 145 pounds, and I do believe that he could become champ once again until an Aaron Pico comes in or possibly a Gene Silva. Man, I'm super impressed with that Gene Silva. Oh.
you know what
Is that Ian Potts on
Israel
that?
asked Israel asked me last night, are they barking or are they saying ooh, ooh? I couldn't tell whether they were barking or just going ooh, ooh, ooh. So it was a little confusing, but no, you're right. Gene Silva looked phenomenal. But before we move to Gene Silva, Henry, listen, Volkanovski's is done that. Yair Rodriguez, he's done that. Who else is next besides Yair Rodriguez? Patricio came in, but Yair Rodriguez handled that. The other person in line is Ivloyev, and you've even said that that you thought that Aljo fight he might have lost, and listen, Ivloyev, I definitely like him. I think he's really a dark horse in that division, but as far as the striking paralysis of just understanding the flow of the fight, I don't know if he's necessarily there yet. I think Alexander Volkanovski, as long as he continues to be motivated, I think he's champion. He does one or two. I think he decides he wants to hang it up. More power to him. You go down as the greatest featherweight of all time.
Yeah.
So hey,
I'm super.
nothing against that.
I am super high, man, on Aaron Pico, man, coming. I know nobody's in the UFC has seen him fight. 28 years young, really has a lot of skills in it. But I mean, there's so much. I mean, more likely what's going to happen is I do believe that more likely they're probably going to give him a Loyev to Alexander Volkanovski, and then for Diego Lopez, man, the fight that needs to be given for the two people that fought in the main event is it's logical. Diego Lopez versus Yair Rodriguez, UFC Noche in Mexico in Guadalajara. I mean, that's a beef that they had at the press conference. I mean, Yair was saying that Lopez is not a Mexican, like he's just out there for likes. Obviously, Lopez is loved in Mexico way more than me, dude. He's Mexican, bro.
Hey,
I'm a traitor, bro. And it's ironic how kind of how things actually work. I think you're able to do whatever the hell you want, but I also understand a little bit of what a guy who was born and raised in that country and saying that. So the beef even goes beyond that, Kamaru Usman. I mean, they're talking about, from what I heard in Spanish, is one of Yair's friends got jumped by some members of Team Lopez. I don't know exactly. I was talking to Mike Bond, but if you read in between the lines, what they said, apparently one of Yair Rodriguez's friends got beat up. So we got to get to the bottom of this. But the storyline is too good. Kamaruddin Usman Muhammad Ali. I think it has to
no,
be. I think it has to be done. It has to.
I I agree with you, Henry. I think the next logical step in at least giving Yair a move up, and Lopez, yes, he was kind of fast tracked there, but he did the work. He did the work to get there, to be fast tracked there. But you haven't fought Yair Rodriguez, and there's a couple of guys in that division that, yeah, that you could now pick to fight. I would go. You're right. I would go Lopez and Yair Rodriguez for who's the king of Mexico right now,
Damn,
and then I would.
damn, come on, you went like that.
Hey, you said it. So you said it. I was just cleaning it up. But also, I would go because, listen, this is something that potentially was about to happen anyways. I would go Aaron Pico versus Patrício Pitbull.
Oof. Yeah.
So then we see who was because it's both Bellator signees, fresh coming in right away. They were right there. They could have fought in Bellator. It didn't happen. Now you get to have it settled in the UFC to show who's the best featherweight coming out of Bellator into the UFC.
Damn.
What do you think, Henry? You like it?
Kamaru White, baby. Dude, move over, Dana White. We got Kamaru White in the house.
I like it. I think it was a phenomenal. It was just, it really kind of opened up the featherweights. It showed like, hey, who moves up and who kind of like in that bracket, who moves on and who kind of slides down and has to fight their way back up. So I like it.
The other question mark too is where does that put Max Holloway? Should Max Holloway go?
Max Holloway is a lightweight now, Henry.
But that's
him and Ilia Topuria are lightweights. I don't think he wants to do that to himself. Max Holloway's getting older. He's married. I don't think he wants to do that. It was already a bad cut anyways. But I don't think he wants to do that to himself to get down there like that.
Yeah, no, it's good, man. And then think about it too, man. Dan Ige, man, he's reassuring himself as a contender, man. Like let's not sleep on him. Laurent Murphy, bro. Laurent Murphy's
still there.
Laurent Murphy's no joke. Like these are guys that are super competitive that just know how to win. Maybe not the most exciting, but 145 pounds. I'm gonna say right now, bro, it is wide open. And let's not forget about Gene Silva, man. I do believe that Gene Silva is potentially one fight away, man. If he picks the right fight, he's becoming a fan favorite. Kamaru, he's becoming a fan favorite. Where Dana White's going to pay for his actual wedding, like his actual damn wedding. So
what
at 100?
Dana said that?
Yeah, Dana. They said a wedding singer, and then Dana was like, you know what? Because they want to get like a very famous singer at their wedding. And then Dana White said, hey, you know what? I think I'm in on it. So they're going to go ahead and,
let me go ahead and text Dana right now.
Text him.
And say, Dana, hey, I heard what you're doing for Gene Silva. Hook a brother up when he ready.
Yeah, but look, there's a lot of exciting matches, man. I do believe that Gene Silva, if he picks the right fight, gets into the top 5, maybe he goes after Iloyev. Maybe he goes.
Ivloyev.
Yeah, maybe he goes after Yair Rodríguez and calls him out. I mean, again, anything can happen. But if Gene Silva plays his cards right, he is one fight away because he's such a fan favorite. He can be in there, man. What he was able to do to Bryce Mitchell and how he did it and the fashion that he did it with the barking that he's doing, like he's bringing the gimmick from the beginning to the motherfucking end. And that is really hard, bro. Because I wouldn't advise people to do that because once I'm done making weight, Kamaru, the competitor's out. The Olympic champ, the Triple C, is out. Not the king of cringe.
All right. No, you're absolutely right. I think Gene Silva definitely has thrown his name. Yeah, you're right. That division is deep. You got Volk. You got.
It's open. It's open, bro. Patrício.
I wouldn't say, okay, first of all, I wouldn't say it's open. No, it's closed. We have a champion now, and the name is the former and probably the greatest featherweight of all time, Alexander Volkanovski. It's not open. It's closed. But the number one contender spot is open, wide open right now because think about it. There's no clear-cut guy.
Volkanovski's champion now. Diego just lost. Yeah, Iloyev at number 4.
Right.
Yair Rodríguez,
who has been beat by the champion.
Yes, but this is what I'm telling you. It's open, bro.
It's the number one contender spot is open. You can't say the division is open. It's not. We got a champion, and not just a champion, the former pound for pound number 1 champion. And listen, he looked phenomenal yesterday. This is another thing too about Volkanovski. This guy moved for 25 minutes. You realize that, Henry?
Yeah.
That was what I found fascinating. I was like, bro, this guy didn't stop moving side to side, this angle, that angle, 25 minutes because he knew I couldn't stand there and brawl. Because when you stood there and brawled with this young bull, is in the moments where he did get caught. He did it a few times to let him know, I'm not scared of you, young bull. But those were the moments where he did get kind of stumbled and caught. But when he was moving, bro, that jab was money. I was so impressed by the concentration and his ability to stay on task and get the job done.
Yeah, and 100% I agree with you, Kamaru, but there's one area where I feel like a good striker could expose. Volkanovski leaves his hands down when he's shooting and he comes up. That was one area. And then he's still cocking his head back. And that's a big, big problem, man, when you go up against a guy like Pico or Gene Silva. If he doesn't correct that, man, like that, that right hand, like the Taporia, like he could potentially get knocked out.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break from the episode to thank our sponsor, Manscaped.
Not to go below the belt, Kamaru, but have you been using Manscaped trimmer? They sent us a bundle, and let me tell you, this trimmer is the next level.
I mean, yeah, I like it, Henry. It's one of those trimmers that, obviously you can it has the attachment on there. So if you want, to give yourself a 2, a 4, or maybe a 1 down there.
I will say this, Manscaped does do the job.
What we also love about the Manscaped is that they're supporting a cause that means a lot to us.
Did you know that one man every hour, every day is diagnosed with testicular cancer? That's right. In fact, it's the most common form of cancer among men 15 to 35.
April is National Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. With men's health and hygiene in mind, Manscaped has partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society, an amazing registered 501c3 nonprofit organization. Manscaped is putting action behind their words and donating $50,000 to the Testicular Cancer Society to help save lives and promote routine self-checks.
Manscaped just dropped a special edition and bundle that helps support this amazing cause. The TCS Ball Hero Bundle includes the lawnmower, the 5.0 Ultra TCS Special Edition, and Special Edition TCS Boxers 2.0. And here's the best part. By ordering Manscaped TCS Ball Hero Bundle, you'll help raising awareness for testicular cancer. Every purchase that helps spread the life-saving message.
But hurry, there's a limited supply, so these special edition products won't last long. Get your bundle while supplies last, and let's help raise awareness for testicular cancer together. Get 20% off plus free shipping with promo code P4P at manscaped.com.
Visit manscaped.com/TCS to learn more about how to check yourself or make a donation to save lives and your balls.
My balls or your balls, Henry?
Join the over 12 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and use promo code P4P for 20% off free shipping at manscaped.com.
Now let's get back to the episode.
Let's move on. We got Iron Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. The only thing I got to say to you, Kamaru Dean, get on your knees and say you're sorry. I told you so. And I think I didn't he put an egg on this?
You told me so. Okay, let's go. We're gonna rewind the tape because I don't think you picked Paddy Pimblett.
I did pick Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett is a lot better than what we think, and I'm smelling an upset here. He's good.
This is what I said. I said I can't take anything away from Paddy. I can see a world where Paddy gets it done. If Paddy's able to come forward, get the takedown, I can see a world where he gets it done, and that's exactly what he did. Paddy was able to get the takedown, get on top, and he was just dominant there. It looked like, and it wasn't that Chandler wasn't wanting to fight. Chandler wanted to fight, but he was just like, sometimes, Henry, like when you're in the fight and you get kicked or you get punched or whatever, each time you get hit, you make a conscious decision in your head, like, was that shot bad enough to discourage me for coming forward and accomplish the task at hand, what I want? We have to make those little decisions by every strike, whether it's a jab, whether it's a kick to the body, kick to the leg, inside, outside. Doesn't matter. We make that decision. And it just looked like Chandler every time he came forward, Paddy threw something, Chandler would get discouraged and just kind of back up and stop. and it frustrated me because I know how much power this man has, and I know how good he is. So it was just like something was just kind of holding him back, and then once he got taken down, Paddy got on top, and it was just like we just kind of were giving up positions. We just was reacting rather than actually working towards finding the solution to getting back on task. And so, hats off to Paddy the Batty. I mean, this man has been going in there. And listen, not the most polished striking. I mean, still making a lot of errors. He's still very green, but he makes up for it with his grappling. His grappling is definitely really, really top level. When he gets on top of you, he wears guys out. So, once you get up to the upper echelon of this division, there are guys that are definitely going to touch you and let you know. So I just nothing away against him, man. Paddy Pimblett did it once again, and you're right, Henry. We have to put some respect on his name.
Yeah.
He said he wants Dustin Charles. I don't know about Charles or the little posh boy, Ahmed. I don't know what a posh boy is, but I'm guessing that's an insult.
I wouldn't count him out, bro. I don't count him out in any of those fights. And I love everybody who's on that damn list, dude. This dude is a scrappy human being, man. And he scrambles in everything. He's only got better. And not just that, people got to keep in mind, he is a big 55er, bro. He looks like a fucking welterweight in there. Like, he legit looks like a welterweight. If in that fight, man, he was able to control, and not just control the pace or whatnot, but he was also able to take down the NCAA Division I All-American Michael Chandler. I mean, he put a beating, man. He put a beating on him, dude. He did an extremely good job. He said he mentioned Dustin, he mentioned Gaethje, he mentioned Armin, but the fight that would really make sense right now. Can I get a drum roll? Ilya T. Poirier. These guys had beef back in the day, and right now, the beef said, just listen to me, Kamaru Dean. The storyline is there, bro. They're both stars in the UFC. You got the champ and Ilya Topuria. Then you got Paddy Pimblett, who he has to pick one fight. If I'm the UFC, I'm booking Justin Gaethje versus Islam, because Khabib's wish is Ilya needs to fight the number one contender. He needs to fight somebody before he gets a damn title shot. And then I think you do Ilya Topuria on that fight. Whoever comes out of top gets the next title shot. What's up? Remember, it's not. Remember, Kamaru, it's not just based on competition. It's not. If it was, it would go down the line. It's not. Remember, the UFC is an entertainment company. Who can entertain? Who's going to bring in numbers? That's Dana White, or should I say, Dana Green?
Boom. Well put. I like how you ended that there. I like that. I normally I would, because I'm so merit based as far as what you've done, but I you're right. It is an entertainment company, and with all the noise that Paddy now has been in the UFC for what, over 3-4 years, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Over 3 years. At first I was saying, you know what, let's build him. UFC have done a good job building him, giving him the fights kind of at his level to kind of move him up. But when you go out there and you dominate a guy like that, like Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler's a former world champion. Michael Chandler's been in there, fought for the UFC title, and was seconds away from winning it. When you fight a guy like that and you go out there and you dominate them, that gives you immense confidence. So it's such immense confidence to where he's calling out Charles Oliveira, who I think Charles Oliveira, Arman Tsarukyan, and these guys, Dustin, I think these guys are legit.
If you're a guy like Paddy Pimblett, stylistically, what fight would you take that will maybe fit his style that he could potentially squeak out a win?
I would say maybe Dustin Poirier. I would say it's a better fight, because Dustin Poirier, we know once you shoot for his leg, he jump gilly all day, every day, and he ain't gonna stop even if he doesn't get it. And when you jump gilly and you don't get it and you end up on your back, this is where Paddy Pimblett shines. So I would suggest that one, but you're absolutely right, Henry. If the UFC just like, hey, you know what, let's make the biggest fight we can in that division. You know what, we need to stop trying to hold this guy's hand, because he's proven that he can beat guys in that top 5, top 10, and him just defeating Michael Chandler. So you know what? Ilya, you wanted a fight to really still get you, the English fans and really just the UFC fans, because Paddy the Baddy is up there as far as notoriety, as far as fame right now in that division. So I like it, Henry. I think you hit the nail on the
So
head.
so you prefer the Ilya fight?
I like the Ilya fight because if Justin Gaethje is fighting for the title, Dustin doesn't necessarily want that fight because Dustin wants a retirement fight, and Arman and Charles Oliveira are going to do that again. Hey, I like it, Henry. You hit the nail on the head. Winner, guess what? Winner is ultra popular now and ready to challenge for that title. And not only ultra popular, but has shown that they can handle that weight class and people there at the top of the division.
Yeah.
So I like it, Henry. I think you hit the nail on the head. Book it.
If I'm Arman Sarukian Kamaru, I gotta step up, bro, and I gotta pick on Paddy the Baddy, because the fight between him and Oliveira, it seems like Oliveira has different plans, but this is where you gotta sell. This is where you really gotta take it, because these guys are looking out. These guys are looking at maybe a year and some change for a guy like Charles or maybe Arman that are being skipped, that are not being talked about as much for the title. They're gonna get skipped. You're looking at about potentially a year and a half to 2 years before anybody really gets a shot. 'Cause remember, Islam's gonna fight more likely in July, and then after that, it's possibly October, but we just never know, dude. If these guys don't step up and really, sell something, like they're gonna be the number one contender. And then obviously Charles Oliveira was, what I'm trying to say, bro, is they're gonna get skipped because now you got two guys, Ilya Topuria and Paddy Pimblett, that fans are really engaged in. So if I'm Arman, if I'm Charles, you guys have to fight right away and make sure that you got to drown off whatever it is that's going on right now. But right now, Paddy the Baddy and Ilya Topuria, that's the fight to make.
I like it, Henry. And I mean, Henry, what do you see? What do you see for Chandler next? What do you see him going?
I think Chandler should have just one more fight, man. Like I really do, man. I think we should retire together, bro. Maybe on the same card.
How you just gonna pull my man into your retirement party, bro?
That's because if I'm Michael Chandler, yeah, I'd retire, bro. That's too many beatings, dude. It's not even taking L's, but that's like elbow to the face. He's always cut. He's always bloody. He's gonna be beloved by the people, but he's lost all of his fights, man. And people just forget. People forget. I think at this point he's in my position. Whatever the UFC wants, whatever the UFC is gonna get him, they might give him a young up and coming contender, and that's when you'll know what the UFC's, the fact that they're a cash machine. They want to make that money, so they gotta push people to get in there to be able to promote. So as at this point, man, I think for Chandler, he's on the UFC's call, dude. That's all. It's like
it's tough to say because like Henry, I never want to tell a man what to do or when to retire because you know how much fire is burning inside you. And so I would never say that to another man, like you need to retire. But I do think, yes, that's a decision. That's something he needs to think about. If he's halfway there, it's something you need to seriously consider because of the damage that he is taking. And yes, he's one of the most exciting fighters in that division, and definitely top 10 in the company. So yes, I get that part. Yeah, I think he just like Dustin. Dustin says, "Hey, I want one more, and then I'm done." So I think, yeah, consider it. I'm not telling you what to do, but I think consider it, Mike. But Henry, Pitbull and Yair, Yair looked dominant. He really, it looked like he really came out. It was almost like a guy trained for the whole 15-minute, nonstop 15 minutes. He was landing kicks. He was showing tricks. I mean, just the feints that this guy was, you can tell he drills him a lot. So Yair definitely he looked great, and I feel like Patricio just kind of got caught staring at him, trying to figure out what's going on. And before he decided to get going, there's maybe 2 minutes left or a minute left in there. So hey, I think Yair looked dominant, but I don't think he's still next for the title because we've been there, done that.
If Diego Lopez would have won, 100%, he's in. Like the way they sold it at the press
Right,
conference. This is
right.
why it's so important. And people underestimate these. Like everybody's trying to be a GSP. Everybody's trying to be a nice guy. Everybody's trying to be a wise guy. It's dude. When you get in a heated battle like that, and then you start bringing in flags involved, and it's not who's the real Mexican. And that's when things get tricky. But just to go on that side of
Who's the real African?
Are you still mad at me on that one, Kamaru?
Hey, now I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Remember,
Dude, don't be bringing race in again. Dude, I'm kidding. Anyways, dude. That being said, bro, Patricio Pitbull, he's better than that, man. I know Patricio very, very well. I know both of these dudes very, very well. Yair stayed at my house. He did one of his training camps there. So has Patricio. Like these are the guys that are I consider really, really close friends, man. And I hope Yair goes out and becomes champion, man. If it was Pitbull, same thing, man. Pitbull is one of the guys that I really emulated in my fight career, that I really took it to the next level, kind of being mentored a little bit by him and understanding those, his stance, his position, his distance recognition, being short in stature. It's a hard pill to swallow because he's been so dominant, bro. But fuck, Yair was just the hardest matchup for him stylistically because of his length, dude. And it's not even his length. It's not even that. It's his movement. It's his kicks. It's the fact that he'll throw a punch and boom, 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 backed up by two quick punches as the kick is kicking you. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, man, Gene Silva, did his work against Bryce Mitchell, man. And I felt like at 145 pounds, the 145 pound weight division, they may have a new sheriff in town, dude. And I think with his ability, with his great striking, dude, his takedown defense, he went for the ghillie a couple times. He went for the ghillie without the without the arm against Bryce Mitchell. This dude's diverse, man. His ability to get up from bottom when he was on bottom, man. Gene Silva is a champion in the making, Kamaru.
I like it, Henry. I agree with you. I think he definitely showed just dominance. Like the way, and like I said before, with the fighting nerds, you can tell that they are they shadow box very well. They visualize. They do all these things because even some of the techniques, I can see them coming, but they still hit you because of their timing, because of what they put in front of it. Like you saw Huffy last a couple fights ago, where he just whoosh, it looked like he faked a long left hook that you saw, and then he spun on you and smacked you with the back of his foot. So I mean, these guys are doing such a phenomenal job with how they're training and they get into the fights. Yeah, the only thing that worries me with Gene Silva is I think he's gonna outgrow that weight class relatively quick, because he has missed weight in that division. And not only has he missed weight, he struggled a bit here to make weight here, because the first attempt, I believe the first attempt he wasn't on the scales and had to go back and come back. So I would say I think he's gonna outgrow that weight class because he's still growing, it looks like. But he looked phenomenal. Uh, Nothing against Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell looked good. He came out. I mean, you're right, Henry. Gene Silva could be fast tracked there because he's showing everything that this company is now. Because you're going out there, I mean, look at the hype that was on. I think I was more excited to watch this fight than every other fight on the card.
Yeah,
And
but can
so,
I tell you why, Kamaru? Because
what?
they build a rivalry.
Rice,
He's
right?
going in the cage with the damn gimmick where he's barking, oh, 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 oh. It's Brazil versus USA on USA territory. I mean, this whole card, Kamaru, dude. This is one of the best cards of the year. I know we're kind of halfway through, but man, Miami truly, truly did deliver. And whatever the fight nerds are doing, they got to continue, because that coach is going to be a Hall of Fame coach if any of these guys becomes a champion, because they're all looking good against really good competitors.
I agree. I agree. Well, all in all was a great card, and just to touch on the other fights, Dominick Reyes once again does it, and it looks like that resurgence is true. Nikki fought Nikita Krylov. Nikita was rushing forward with the blitz. Dominick Reyes was able to step back, beautiful left hand right over the top, and it was beautiful. Put him to sleep. A couple shots followed, but it was it. But Dominick Reyes now on a 3-fight win streak, and just kind of showing a resurgence. Maybe this is something that he might be able to ride up there, because I think one more big win, Dominick Reyes is a new name for that title challenger, because we need a new face to challenge for the
No,
title.
but get this. Dominick Reyes went from 0-4 to 3-0, all knockouts. He does a really good job, bro. Like stepping back. Not a lot of people know how to fight backwards. Dominick Reyes
Right.
is different, man. That's one of his gifts, his ability to take a step back, boom, and his punches are super, super straight. He's dangerous, bro. If he does, if let's just say hypothetically, he does even just get to the title or fights for the title or becomes champion, this could be the greatest combat. This could be the greatest UFC comeback of all time. Straight up.
Well, he did say he was considered retirement after going, what was it, 0-4, 0-3. He was considered retirement, and now you're on a 3-fight win streak. You haven't got out of the second round, so I mean, impressive. Congratulations to Dominick Reyes as he continues his march. And Henry, there was some other, the featured prelim, Dan Ige looked good. You know what?
Hey,
I would say
50K.
50K Ige. I would say all in all, this whole card, the one thing that I really took away from it as a fight fan and as an analyst is the concentration and the control of a fight from most of the winners on this card. And I was blown away with the way Dan Ige was able to stay composed and build that fight from start to finish was impressive. The way Gene Silva was able to stay composed and continue to build the fight from start to finish was impressive. Alexander Volkanovski moving the whole time. Let the fight build, let the fight breathe all the way to he never lost focus. He stayed composed and got the job done. Paddy Pimblett, Michael Chandler, that was the jockeying for position there. Michael Chandler just couldn't stay focused, and because everything that Paddy did kind of distracted him and would stop him in his tracks from coming in and finishing. But Paddy Pimblett was able to just land the jabs, stay with the fight, eventually get it down, and still let it build and get to the finish. So I would say, man, that's the one big thing that I saw from this card. That these guys are really turning into complete mixed martial artists from start to finish. So before you usually see guys that just rush, try to get the knockout first round, and if they don't get it, they're dead tired and they're done. But we're seeing guys really now build. If it's not the first round, it might be the third,
Yeah.
but they still go and get the
Right.
finish.
We fought that a little bit with Reyes. It was like Reyes was ever the weather storm in the beginning, and then found the right
Mm-hmm.
timing. 100%, man. But overall, Kamaru, like from top to bottom, bro, this is probably the best card as of right now, with the most entertaining fights, with the most storylines that happened thus far. I think the only one that really comes in mind too is the one where the one at the Intuit Center with Islam Makhachev, Murad Dvalishvili versus Umar Nurmagomedov. That was another banger of a card. But these two cards have been absolutely ridiculous. But all in all, man, I had fun. I had a chance to hang out with you. We did a bunch. We had a chance to repatch things with Israel. I did, Sanya. He was this morning. He fought
We
or me.
Henry, too, before we go, I just want to say, too, is did you see the development of Chase Hooper, man? Like this little kid, remember he came in, he was a boy. He had the little translucent boy chest, arms shrunk like this. Justin Gaethje sitting next to me, and Justin Gaethje goes, he's turning into a man. He's got almost like man body now, man chest, man arm. He was composed with Jim Miller. Jim Miller in there. We know Jim Miller's a dog. He was composed.
Yeah.
Shooting him in the face. Crisp hands, dominant with the grappling. We know that's where Jim Miller thrives. So I would say Chase is no longer a boy. Let's not treat him as a boy. Let's not even, kind of underestimate him here. And I think it's time to start, let's start giving him some tests here because I like this kid, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, for sure, dude. I didn't get a chance to see that fight, but I mean, he's a man, bro. When you're 18 and up, dude, you're not a boy, dude. You're a man. I was already beating dudes in high school when I was 18. So,
right.
I mean, it is what it is, bro.
Yeah. Before we go, Henry, we got a quick question from a casual, and it's Henry, what is your favorite place you've ever fought, and what's your least favorite place that you've ever fought?
Yeah, my favorite place that I've ever fought, competed in, I'm gonna have to say Times Square in Madison, in the middle of Times Square, was wrestling. But for fighting, bro, like I really had a really good time in Edmonton, Canada. That's the one that really pops into mind, dude. First knockout, those fans are absolutely nuts. And then my least favorite place, but it's not it's not their fault. But I remember I wrestled the crap out of Sergio Perez one time, and I'm accustomed to getting booed, but getting booed because you suck, because you're boring ass fighting is different, dude. So that's the one that I would say.
You know what? Now that you say that, because I was trying to, as you were answering, I'm trying to pick the places, but I couldn't really pinpoint it. But I would say favorite. I've had a couple places that was good. I mean, Jacksonville. Yes, we were still in the pandemic, and I was locked in. We weren't able to go out, see the city or whatnot. But just the whole transition, camp, build up, getting into the fight, and delivering a performance like that to the fans was big. MSG with Covington 2 was also big. Just everything leading up and just the setup was good. And I loved fighting in Brazil. Brasilia, that was great. And I would say my least favorite would probably be, I fought in St. Louis. And even though I dominated Emil Meek, it was just I was getting booed. And so I would say, St. Louis was probably my least favorite because I got booed there. And I know Logan is one of our producers. That's his spot there. But sorry, bruh. Y'all booed me. So, now you got to go on the list. And Henry, before you could go, one place you could pick to have your last fight in the octagon.
I don't get attached to anything, so I don't think I have anything like that in mind. Like, I really don't, man. I think anywhere in America, bro. I think right. I'm not too sure yet, dude. It's
for me. I would have to. All right, Henry. We'll remember this. We'll remember this interview, and we're gonna drop it when they hit you with that Hall of Fame video, and you start bawling like a baby. We will do that, okay? But for me, I would have to say it would be Dallas, Texas, or Arlington, Texas. It's the beginning of my athletic career. It's my hometown. It's where I was bred. So I think being able to deliver that to them, give that to them, and share that experience with them of a long career would be great for me.
Yeah.
So I would really love. And don't say, I know Phoenix. You say you're not attached to anything, but you've always been trying to get something in Phoenix. Who's the king of Phoenix? Who's the king of?
Yeah. You're right. I mean, hometown. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, but that would be it, Henry. Man, fantastic event, fantastic weekend, and not to mention, I seen you. You was fresh with the silk joint on, coming in with the chain on. Dun, 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 dun. I did see you coming in like that. But it was a great time, Henry. Stars was in the building. Mr. 45 and 47 was also in the building with his whole staff. It was an incredible night. And Henry, I loved it. Obviously, new episode coming in this Thursday. So make sure you go on and like and subscribe. And of course, let us know, comment as well. But Henry, as always, I am the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, a.k.a. Triple C.
And we are out.